Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest this segment is Cale Moodie. He's the president and CEO of Neptune Dash, which trades on the TSX Venture under the symbol DASH. Cale, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Cale, so tell me, what is the business model of Neptune Dash?
So it's pretty interesting. I mean, what we tried to do is we tried to create something that was very simple, that investors could understand, that allowed investors to get exposure to the blockchain crypto space without having the complexity and the economic variables that you have with a mining company. So we are not a crypto mining company. We are absolutely not that. We are a masternode, a DASH Masternode company. So we build and operate DASH Masternodes.
Okay, so for the edification of our audience, what is a masternode?
So a masternode is basically just servers that operate on the DASH network, and DASH is a cryptocurrency. It's about number 13 in terms of market cap size. So the masternodes actually perform a few features. They do something called private send, they do something called insta-send, and they actually are sort of the democratic voting system of the DASH network. So every masternode has a vote for DASH initiatives and for that network and that foundation.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about the cryptocurrencies themselves now.
Yeah.
They're obviously under a lot of pressure lately.
Yeah, it's been interesting, a big pullback.
Yeah, but nothing that's not to be expected with a new asset class.
Yep.
What are the dynamics in terms of the fundamentals driving the price action in all of the cryptos, and how does Dash sort of stack up against the bellwether Bitcoin and Ethereum, and what is its differentiator?
What's really interesting is that actually Dash used to not trade at all in terms of Bitcoin price. They were totally decoupled. And ever since December, now Bitcoin moves and everything moves sort of in almost an absolute positive correlation to Bitcoin. So these things are all moving together. So when you have a bad day for Bitcoin, it's a bad day for Dash. And Dash is about 2.5 billion in market cap right now. So we've seen that come off substantially. That's US dollars since December. That was the high when we raised all our capital. But looking at the price move up into December, myself, I was thinking we need at least a 50% retracement here, because these prices are they've just skyrocketed. So I thought it was very normal and very healthy to see that 50% retracement. It's been an aggressive retracement where I think we're like 70% on some of these tokens, cryptocurrencies.
Right.
That said, I think we definitely have a long-term game, and for someone who's like myself, who's been in since 2013. I've seen this volatility before, and I know that, hey, you buy this stuff and you hold it. Right now we're going through what's called, I think, a land grab. Everybody's trying to get access to these cryptocurrencies, stockpile them, and see what happens. So I think Dash is a good bet.
Right. One of the issues that, as an investor, I find with cryptocurrencies is that as a programmer, I mean, I have the option to either participate in the creation of currency through mining, or I have the option to create my own cryptocurrency if I think I can achieve a critical mass in terms of the confidence of a sufficient audience to support it.
The value is in the audience.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
So, which leads me to the, sort of the conclusion that as a currency, and it's the same with all currencies. No confidence in the currency has no value.
Exactly.
But all of the cryptocurrencies ultimately, at the end of the day, can only ever be a proxy for the fiat central bank-backed currency that purchases it originally, or into which it is ultimately converted for sale to buy something else. Now, increasingly, you can buy. I was on Overstock.com the other day,
that's a good example,
you can buy anything on Overstock with Bitcoin or with Ethereum, and to me, that's a sign of real, advancement as a currency when that kind of a big retailer like that is taking it. So, in terms of Dash, what does it take to get Dash to be accepted on the likes of a site of like Overstock or even Amazon.com?
Right. I see it as a really rapid evolution to a point where we get to. People will take their fiat currency, exchange it into cryptocurrency, and never have to leave that crypto environment. So they can change Bitcoin for Dash, Dash for Litecoin, whatever they want to do within that environment, and actually buy things in that environment. So it almost makes fiat obsolete in some way, because fiat operates in another environment. So that's sort of, I think, where we're headed eventually. Dash is unique in that it operates like a foundation. It's operated by a foundation, but it operates like a corporation. So you have a development team, a technical team, a marketing team. There's a big budget for this. 10% of the mining block reward goes to the foundation for these Dash initiatives, and the masternodes vote on those initiatives. So you have this massive organization propelling Dash forward into the limelight and up there in terms of one of the top cryptocurrencies for adoption. I mean, they do things like they go to universities in Europe and they give away Dash wallets with some Dash in it, so people can actually transact with these things. So
they're giving away the money.
They're giving away the money, essentially. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a way to get this stuff adopted.
Yeah,
but,
sure. I'd spend free money.
Exactly.
Okay, so as a masternode, do you generate, is your revenue model to generate Dash coin and then monetize that?
No, so we're actually, this all came about because we were like, we need to look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap and create vehicles where people who don't understand how to buy them on a cryptocurrency exchange can actually go to their broker, call their broker and say, hey, I want $100,000 of exposure to cryptocurrency. There's no vehicles like that. Right now, your exposure is blockchain. So Neptune Dash is very unique in the sense that you can actually call your broker and say, I want exposure to cryptocurrency. And they're like, okay, what are we going to buy? There's Grayscale in the US and OTC, and there's really Neptune Dash. I mean, we're sitting on a massive pile of Dash cryptocurrency. We do this for an operating business because we're running and operating masternodes. But under each masternode is 1,000 Dash. So we have 18 masternodes, so that's 18,000 Dash. Those masternodes are paying us 8.5% a year in what we like to call Dash flow. So Dash yield, and we reinvest that in masternodes. So you can see how that curve is self-propagating over time. So it really is, you're getting exposure to cryptocurrency, and you get paid an 8.5% reinvested dividend.
In Dash.
In Dash.
And so how do you ever monetize Dash? Like, how do you actually...
It's highly liquid.
Is it?
It's highly liquid.
So
I mean, we could go to an exchange tomorrow and we could dump millions of dollars in Dash in a day.
So you pay for your operating expenses in terms of office space, equipment, salaries, et cetera, by monetizing Dash?
No. So again, we don't ever monetize. So we did a capital raise. We raised $23 million, $23.2 million. We set aside a couple $1 million. Our burn rate is extremely low. It's very easy to run these masternodes. There's no power requirements. There's no warehouse. We basically operate cloud servers. It costs us $20 a month per masternode, so it's very cheap to run this stuff. We have a very small, efficient team. If we're sitting on $1 billion of Dash or $50 million of Dash, our requirements as an entity are pretty much the same. So our G&A is very low. Yeah. So we hold back on every raise enough for probably 2 or 3 years G&A, and that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can I buy today with Dash?
Oh, good question. I mean, there's a whole list. If you go to the Dash Foundation website, you can actually go. There's a whole list of vendors, and that's growing every day. So again, they have this big initiative, a big push to actually get more and more vendors signed on to use Dash. So I think we need Coinbase to basically accept Dash or take Dash on. I think that's going to be
Coinbase being the largest U.S. exchange.
Yeah, exchange.
What about, for example, CoinSquare, Canada's largest exchange?
Yeah.
Do they carry Dash?
I don't believe they do right now, but there's some that do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So then, in terms of as an investor, I'm going to invest in Neptune Dash, which is a publicly traded company. What is going to drive the value of the shares higher?
Dash price.
The Dash price.
Simply put, Dash price. I mean,
so the share price is attached, should correlate to the price of
Dash.
Dash.
It really should. I mean, we're an operating company, but we're also a large exposure to cryptocurrency. So as that cryptocurrency comes down or goes up, you should see the share price react accordingly. So as you can see, I mean, we basically RTO'd this in January, and the market's come off since then. So we've obviously taken some lumps along the way. But on a rebound, this thing's elastic, so we expect a big swing up as well. Okay. And keep in mind, we're still making those revenues in Dash, so that's always adding value. We're getting that 8.5% yield, which is about 125 Dash every month. Right. Current prices, that's $50,000 Canadian a month in income on our P&L, but it's really in the form of Dash. And again, we put that right back into masternodes. So it's an increasing revenue model.
Sure. Yeah. Snowballing, as it were.
Snowballing, yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good revenue model. Yeah. So then the price of Dash, what is going to drive, so I guess in looking for where the price of the stock is going to go, what is going to drive the price of Dash higher besides the obvious more buyers? Yeah,
more buyers, more adoption. Dash is promoting this, the Dash Foundation is promoting this thing called Dash Evolution, which is supposed to come out in 2018. And it's really exciting. If it does half of what they think it's going to do, I think it's going to be a game changer in terms of adoption of Dash as a use case coin. Dash stands for digital cash. The whole idea with Dash was that, hey, we can use this for buying a cup of coffee. It's really quick. I mean, I can send $1 million. It takes me a couple seconds, and it costs me 5 cents.
Wow.
It's fast. Unlike if I'm moving Bitcoin, it could cost me up to 70, 80 bucks, and it might take 3 hours.
Right.
So very different.
Okay.
What's really interesting and unique about Dash is that it adapts really quickly to changing environments. So if they want to change the block size or anything like this, they basically go to vote, the masternodes vote on it. We're all sort of incentivized in the same way, which is adoption of Dash and increase in price of Dash. So we're all going to vote on this, and it's going to happen quickly. Unlike the sort of the infighting environment you get with these other network coins like Bitcoin, where you have the purists sort of battling with the evolutionaries, right? And these things take 2 years to do. So what's unique about Dash, again, it's run like that corporation, which we are really bullish on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cale, let's leave it there for now. We'll come back to you in a quarter's time and see how you've advanced.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
really interesting. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks very much.